what he's done with this group's been pretty special.
Well, no wonder he's hanging out for the new deal. Not only is he getting a new deal, he's getting a pay rise on this form. Let's be honest, he's in the coaching form of his life.
Is he hanging out for it, or is this the best mode to have Luke Beveridge in? Because I feel like backs against the wall, sort of poked and prodded and antagonised is where he does his best work.
He's been comfortable. I think he's said that. You've got to remember too, no Sam Darcy, no Cody Waitman, no Liam Jones as well. And they are playing tonight
as well.
Yes, and they're playing some of the best football in the competition, as you mentioned.
So just look at the way they're playing, though. This is what I'm in awe of. They're able to get the best out of the peripheral players. I mean, we've seen the midfield. We talk a lot about Richards and Bont and those sorts of guys, but find roles for Harms, players like Harms. I say, okay, Kennedy's
Riley
coming.
West.
Riley West is a force inside the forward 50 now.
See the too small celebration?
A couple too small there to tackle him tonight. They're the sort of
knocked
things.
a few props over there, Jay. Well done.
To watch his coffee. There's, I think, a lot in that. Your bottom six can sometimes separate those big games at the pointy end.
What a treat to have the Western Bulldogs coach Luke Beveridge join us so soon after the full-time siren. Bevo, congratulations on just an extraordinary win tonight. Bailey Dale was a bit quiet, but other than that, it was a complete team performance. How satisfying was that?
Yeah, thanks, Kath. At one stage, Praddy asked me whether we could send the runner out to tell him that he had 46 possessions and to get another 4, and I said, well, it's not a Josh Bruce situation where he's kicked 9 and he's in the right end of the ground. You can give him 1 more. So hold 4. But when he got to 49, I thought, well, you might as well tell him. He might be a bit dirty on Truck Williams for not giving him that last one inside.
That was a soda too.
Yeah, I mean, he played tremendously well. He really did, and a big focus every week for every team is to start well. We, believe it or not, have only won 2 first quarters on the scoreboard, so it was a pretty emphatic start to get that sort of margin early in the game.
Getting all serious on us again, Bev. I don't like when you get so serious. we've got Jay Clark in here who come down and did the double-page spread with you in the Herald Sun. He was at your joint for hours. I just have been desperate to ask you.
Tell us.
I've just been desperate to ask you, what does someone bring as a gesture of just goodwill to say thanks for letting me in?
Well, I think I had to give him a petrol voucher as he left because I said to Jay, didn't I, mate? I thought you lived in Malvern. I didn't know you lived on the other side of town. So no, it was good of Jay to come that far.
No, that's not what you really meant. Did he leave at least a good bottle of red or something? How do you show your appreciation?
He drank half a bottle of mine and didn't bring any himself. Look, it's something that we don't do that often. Pre-season, there's normally an interview or two, and during the season, there's not much time for it. So I was flattered that Jay wanted to do a piece. You're always pretty frightened of what the words entail, but
you were frightened. How do you think I was feeling?
You were pretty honest and frank, mate. I thought you struck a pretty good balance. So
thanks,
next time he comes back, I won't get him in a bigger headlock and keep him there that long.
Hey, Luke, you must be absolutely pleased with the result tonight. Your superstars stood up, but we're looking at what we're describing your mid-tier players. Buku Khamis has come in and slotted in lovely in front of the ball. Matt Kennedy's come to your football club. James Harms is starting to solidify him in your football club. It looks like your biggest area of growth's got to come from those guys in the mid-tier.
Yeah, Jack, I mean, every club's got a group of players who they ask to perform specific roles, maybe around the key movers and shakers in the competition. And you're always after evenness. It's obviously a very, very difficult game. You played it for a long time, and the combat and the courage required never goes away. But I think, credit to the boys. They've worked hard. They're pretty fit. They're pretty strong. They work really diligently with our coaches, definitely with our fitness staff and medical staff. And in recent times, 1 or 2 have got opportunities. The kids had to go early, Joshy Dolan and Cooper Hines. And so to see some of the other guys who have been with us for a little while, like, as you mentioned, Buku, Luke Cleary, start to sort of stamp themselves a little bit more in the game, it's important for us.
Bevo, you got a little game on Thursday night, the Bailey Smith Cup against one of your former Chargers. I know you've mentioned before how close you've been with Bailey over his time and were disappointed to lose him, but what have you made of his form? Because he has been electric, and what's it going to be like trying to stop him on Thursday night against the Cats?
Yeah, he has, Jay. I managed to squeeze in a quarter and a half in between watching our first half out at Williamstown with our Footscray team, and again, I think he's been quite prolific in the possession count, and he's obviously helped influence that outcome. And as I said during the week, I'm really pleased for him, especially coming off a knee rehabilitation, which is such an arduous challenge for him to be playing the type of footy that he is. I'm really pleased for him. So, yeah, but we'll go down there. I mean, we've had a couple of good wins over the last couple of years down at Geelong, and that's been important for us. One was significant because we did make the finals. The other one wasn't that much because we didn't end up playing off at the pointy end. But we'll go down there knowing how big a challenge it is, and there's a lot at stake every week. And, you know, obviously Essendon have had some momentum in their season. We came into here tonight making sure that we did everything we could to be at our best. And we know it's a different sort of equation playing down there at GMHBA, where it's pretty narrow, pretty long. And on a Thursday night, you know, when we play the Cats on a Friday night, we usually go down on the Thursday, so we don't have to deal with peak hour traffic on a Friday. This time around, I think we'll probably go down during the day, but hopefully the boys don't get any roadworks or any accidents on the way down.
Yeah, now I know when you're trying to hold us up so we can't ask too many questions and you start talking about the traffic. I mean, that's just going too far, Bevo, too far. Well, tell me what it's like being in the box tonight when you see the first half that the boys were able to put to the Bombers. In terms of getting your planning right, what's it like as coach to just sit back in awe of what the guys are doing?
Well, Kingy, you know, you've been a coach yourself over a significant period of time. You get fussy, you know. You start wanting to, you know, consolidate and make sure that margin is increased. I mean, in this day and age, the percentage side of it, you know, it's an extra game at the end of the year. So you get a bit fussy. You keep reminding people to don't come off their work. And, yeah, we didn't change much of the modes or the roles. You know, one or two things changed. Devo ended up being more of a permanent forward once we lost Arthur Jones early in the game, and we shuffled a little bit because of that. Other than that, I just said to one of the coaches, it's good when you don't have to change much. And so credit to the boys. You know, they saw it out. I thought Essendon had a little bit of a spike, came at us in the third quarter. But we weathered that and came again, so it's been a great night.
You must be pleased and thrilled with the way that Tim English is playing his season. Obviously, many ruckmen get around the ground, but they don't have the influence on the scoreboard. He's had 18 score involvements against Port Adelaide a few weeks ago. He's had 11 again tonight. He's really turning into the all-Australian type style ruckman.
Yeah, don't pump him up too much, Jack, please. We have been happy with... Yeah, the predictability on the inside is so important. The big man presence and making sure that the mids can remain proactive. As soon as you become reactive in there, you're not sure where the ball's going, you become a different team. And so Tim's been able to provide that stability. As you said, in the turnover game, he's been able to link up and provide some score. It was good to see him kick 3 goals down at Ballarat a few weeks ago against Port Adelaide. So, yeah, he's really on the right track. He's building his year, and Buku's been a good foil. You know, we've needed someone to play second ruck, and it was good to see Buk, as you guys have identified, play an impactful game in the ruck and then hit the scoreboard as well forward of it.
Luke, last one from us. When are you signing this new deal, mate?
Come on,
man. Get 2 hours with you.
And how many extra bucks have you earned on this deal? Honestly, it's a tactic.
What do you need, mate?
Well, yeah, extra bucks. Well, even if the deal's signed, the soft cap is it's not a soft ceiling, it's as hard as a rock. So doesn't matter how strong your negotiation skills are, you can't get blood out of a stone. And the important thing is now that everyone who just, definitely your resources, your people who just provide their passion and commit their relationships to the players, that they're looked after. So you've got to spread the love, especially financially, and that's not to say I'll get nothing, but if and when it happens, we'll agree to pretty amicable terms, so everyone is able to put breakfast on the table.
Well, make sure the dog's throwing a few cab charges for when Jay comes by your house next time and interviews you. Hey,
absolutely.
Bevo, congratulations on a spectacular win tonight, and we'll let you get to the press conference. Really appreciate you giving us this time on Fox.
Thanks, Kath. Thanks, guys.